What is up, everyone? It is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. And so today is a very exciting video because I'm going to be doing an honest, non-sponsored review of HelloFresh, which is basically like a meal prep service. So you can pick your meals online and then they will send you your entire meals in these boxes right to your house. And so I have a few of these non-sponsored, honest reviews on my channel. Previously, I've reviewed Function of Beauty, which is a customizable hair care brand, and I've also reviewed Care Of, which are customizable vitamins. So adding HelloFresh to the list, it seems like a lot of companies now are doing these customizable, choose your own adventure style businesses. So some basics with our HelloFresh box this week. We ordered 3 meals with 4 servings each. So typically this would have been $100 for the 3 meals for 4 servings, but you can find a bunch of like deals online. So actually we got our first box for only $40 because there was a coupon on Groupon. But for next week's box, then it's $100. So in this video, I'll be showing you all of the meals, cooking, everything, and then at the end we'll do our review of pros and cons of HelloFresh. So let's get started opening this box. So at the top it says, "Welcome to America's #1 meal kit." Love how it's got all the green. So it's got some like instructions and stuff, how to get started, meal suggestions. Probably this looks like an advertisement. So then in the box we have this insulated bag, which is good obviously because if it's being shipped, you don't want your meals to go bad while it's being shipped. Ooh, easy. Okay, so then on the inside, it looks like all of these are in separately packaged little baggies. As you can see, this one says the creamy chive chicken. It's all separated out. This one is the beef bulgogi meatballs. They like really taped that bag down, made it really tiny. This one just ripped. It says Italian chicken and pepper sandos. Here are the 3 bags. I guess they sort of look smallish to be 4 servings, you know, so I guess we'll see. Then in the bottom, it says don't forget about ingredients, which may be hiding under the ice. So then down here, it looks like there are like chickens and stuff like that. So it looks like they've got a big ice pack at the bottom there to keep all of your like meats and stuff cold. So first up, we have the Italian chicken and pepper sandos. On the little card that comes with all of the meals, you can see it tells you all of the ingredients that come with the meal. On the card, it also tells you the prep, cook, and calories for the meal. Also, for some reason, it took us way longer than the recommended prep and cook time. For all 3 of the meals, it probably took like an hour versus the 35 minutes that they said. On the back of the card, it tells you the steps in order to create your meal, all of these step-by-step instructions, and all of the meals take 6 steps. And so our HelloFresh box arrived on Thursday, and this was the first meal that we made, and we made this on Saturday. So you can see we're taking out all of the ingredients right now, and they still look good even though it's 2 days later. So here are all of the ingredients. And so we're going to start preparing the meal. We got our doggo Gigi here helping us. She probably just wants a potato and now she's being weird. With these HelloFresh meals, I would definitely say something to consider is that the box doesn't come with your basic items like pepper, salt, olive oil, things like that. And additionally, you need to have a lot of like stove space, oven space, and like cutting boards because as you can see, we have to use the oven, the stove, and a lot of different kinds of like platters. So if you live in like an apartment or you don't have a full kitchen, it might be a little bit more difficult. Our review of this first meal, we really liked it. It had good portions, and so we had a lot left over. So for the next day's lunch, we could eat some of the meat and veggies again and just buy more bread and have a second meal out of it, and we really liked the taste. So here we have our finished sandwich, and here's the reveal. Oh my gosh, ours literally does not look anything like that photo. So here we have our second HelloFresh meal, the beef bulgogi meatballs. And so same thing as the first meal. These cards are super cool because they're on like a thicker construction paper kind of thing. So you can keep them and stick them in your home personal cookbook to repeat these. So we ate this meal on Sunday, so 3 days after our box came to the house, and so here you can see all of the ingredients still looking fresh. And then G found the bag that the food came in, and she has to destroy it. Bags are not allowed. Look at that face. She knows she's being bad. She must destroy the bag. Overall, this meal we thought was easier to make than yesterday's meal, but we should have learned that we shouldn't have used all of the ingredients like the meatballs. We shouldn't have used all of the meat because we still had leftovers after this meal as well. So that's a cool thing. You can really like portion control. If you do eat more or eat less, you can make the whole meal or make less of the meal. And so same thing as the first meal, you can see that we have to use a lot of different tools in order to make the meal. So that means there's a lot of dishes after the fact that we have to clean. With this meal, we probably wouldn't order it again from HelloFresh because it's easy to replicate and we can make it on our own. Plus, we thought that the meatballs needed more flavor. They had sauce on the outside and some sauce on the inside, but for the meatballs, they just didn't have a lot of flavor, so that's why if we were to do this, we would probably do it on our own again. So with this meal, we didn't like it as much as the first meal, but it wasn't like bad, you know? We just thought it would need more flavor. And so the reveal again. Unhappy smiley face on the rice. So this is our third and final HelloFresh meal in this week's box. This is the creamy chive chicken. And so we had this on Tuesday, so 5 days after the box arrived at our house. This one was also pretty simple to create. There wasn't a lot of like ingredients or like difficult steps that you needed to take. I guess the one weird thing, this meal came with 1 apple, whether it was for 2 servings or 4 servings, but obviously I guess it makes sense because you can't just like send half an apple via the mail and then it would definitely be so bad by the time you ate it, so like 1 apple makes sense. And this one was unique because it had really interesting like dressings for the salad and seasoning for the rice and the chicken. Usually I feel like we don't have foods with extra like dressings or toppings on the top, so it was cool to try food with those kinds of things on top of your food. So now we've tried all 3 of the meals as you just saw in the video, and so I'm going to be giving some pros and cons of HelloFresh, our initial thoughts, everything like that. So our first pro of HelloFresh is that there is no grocery shopping. So technically it can save you time if you don't go to the grocery store and you have all of your items sent to you. But also we still have to go to the grocery store because this is only 3 meals, and so we ate them for 3 dinners, but for all of the rest of the week, then you have to have food for that. And also because all of the meals come in those bags, it sort of saves you some time with meal prep, so then you don't need to like buy those ingredients or find all of those ingredients in your house to make the items, but everything is there. So overall, it's just a little bit easier. The next pro is that we had a lot of leftovers and maybe we just like eat less than their portion sizes, but for all 3 of the meals we had some extra food for like the next day lunch. The next pro, which I guess it's sort of a pro but also in any kind of cooking like you can do this, would be that we used less like salt and less butter than the instructions told us to do. But for like any meal that you make, if you find recipes on the internet, you can really customize it to what you want, and so we didn't really want as much salt and butter and everything like that, so we did less than the recipes recommended. So that's a cool thing, like you can really mix and match and sort of make the meal to what you would like it to be versus following the directions to a T. And then our final pro would be that we got to try new meal items, because I feel like usually, you know, with our rice, we usually just eat plain rice. We've never tried it with like lemon or all this other seasoning, so that was cool to try. And so on to the cons. Our first con is the price. So for $100 for 3 meals, that is basically like $33 per meal. And so we felt like that was sort of expensive, considering if you bought all of these items on your own, then you could probably make the meal for a lot cheaper than having them send you the entire meal. $33 for 4 people is probably cheaper than you would get if you were going to eat out at a restaurant or doing takeout from a restaurant. So it's sort of like equal there depending on what kind of restaurants you're going to. But we did feel like if you bought these items from the grocery grocery store, especially a place like Costco. That might be better for your price and your wallet. So going off of that, the next con is that some of these things you can definitely make on your own. I feel like now that we have these recipes, like you can totally buy these similar items or mix and match things that you liked or didn't like and then make these meals on your own, but you would have to go to the grocery store. So it really depends on what your priorities are. Do you care about going to the grocery store versus saving time and not having to go to the grocery store? For the beef bulgogi meal, we probably wouldn't order this one again because we could just make this on our own. It's not really like super special that we need HelloFresh to prepare it for us, but that's something pretty simple that we could make on our own and just buy the ingredients for ourselves. And finally, the last con is that preparing the meals sort of took the same amount of time as if we were just preparing dinner normally. And so even though on these cards they say like, okay, prep is 5 or 10 minutes and then cooking time is like 35 minutes, so like 45 minutes to prepare these meals, it sort of took like an hour to prepare them. So it really didn't shave off any time than if we were preparing meals like regularly, normally, it would probably take the same amount of time. And so overall, I definitely would say if you wanted to try HelloFresh, you definitely should. There's definitely a lot of different meals that you can pick online, so you wouldn't be eating like the same 3 things every single week, but you can mix and match and pick what kind of food items that you wanted. Our first week of HelloFresh, we have been happy with it. Our second week's worth of HelloFresh actually came in yesterday, so we have another week's worth we are going to try out. So yeah, that is the end of this video. Definitely let me know in the comments down below if you all have tried or used HelloFresh before. What were your thoughts? Do you like it? Do you not like it? And if you have any other video ideas that you want to see me do, definitely let me know as well. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you like this video to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, and I post every Sunday and Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern time, so check back then, and I will see you all next time.